The alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? SACCOs has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at SACCOs on all our social media platforms. SACCO, craft your own footprints. Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704 11 1720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
The alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
A very well good morning, our viewers. You're most welcome on this show. This is Tekachi, hosted by Katoto Msime. And it's always a live show on our Facebook pages, The Alternative Uganda and Digitalk TV. So you can always follow us, like the video, share it with colleagues and friends so they can also tap into this kind of discussion and maybe have something they need to understand on matters concerning the law, on matters concerning order, and in that same line, so that we can also create an informed group of people out there, and we can be able to advise each other, ask questions, and we shall be able to answer. And today, maybe I should say it is Valentine's Day. However much I have my own opinions about the day, but that is not the topical discussion of today. And to say that yesterday, the two MPs who have been in prison on remand for quite a number of days, if not years, were released on bail by the High Court in Masaka, headed by His Lordship Tweyanze Lawrence. So at the end of it all, they have been able to come out and have their freedom. That's a good one from the judiciary and the legal teams that have been able to represent them in courts at every stage in time. And we say all the best to the MPs, and we wish them to be safe and maybe not to engage in activities that may lead them back to the cells. And today we shall be talking about the legal regime of SACCOs and cooperatives, to be specific. We shall be looking at the law that governs them, their formation, and what we need to know when we are dealing with this kind of cooperatives, the SACCOs, the savings and credit cooperative societies, the SACCOs in short. And we have Counsel Daniel today, and I will give him an opportunity to say hello to the viewers before we can start our discussion today. You're most welcome on this show, Daniel.
Thank you. And I'm very glad to be here, and I thank you for inviting me to attend this show. Being a Valentine, they allow me also to extend happy Valentine to the viewers,
Okay.
but also to the people that I love and treasure.
Okay.
So happy Valentine to you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself and maybe people can get to know who Daniel is.
Okay, my name is Ogwok Daniel, as you have said. I'm a lawyer by profession, and my area of interest is commercial law practice. Yes.
So you're most welcome, Counsel Daniel. And today, like I've introduced our topic, we shall be looking at the legal regime of SACCOs. When we talk about SACCOs in short, I want you to be able to explain to our viewers so that they can understand the meanings and what we mean when we talk about these SACCOs.
Okay, SACCO, because I want to give a literal meaning.
Yes.
Of what a SACCO is. By way of definition, and the working definition or a simple definition that viewers out there can understand, a SACCO is savings and credit cooperative organization. That is a group of people who come together, put the money or create a pool of money and give this money in credit to its members.
Okay.
So people come together voluntarily, put their resources together through savings and give it out to its own members by way of borrowing at a low interest rate.
Okay.
Yes. So that is what we call a SACCO.
A SACCO.
Yes. So a SACCO has a lot of advantages. And one of the advantages is that now that people have pooled their resources together, they can loan each other at a slow or a low interest rate. And secondly, it also brings services nearer to the people, especially in village setting or in parish setting where people come together, register their SACCO, put their resources together, and they loan each other. But two also, SACCO improves on the saving culture of the members, because you will be compelled, you will be influenced to save, because after all, if you don't save, then there's nothing that you're going to loan out. Now that means you have to have the ability to save, but also inculcate that saving culture in yourself, because if you fail to save, then who will loan you? So because it's people coming together voluntarily, putting their resources together and loan these resources out to the people out there. Okay. To its own members.
So you have given a clear definition of what a SACCO means. So yes. In Uganda, what role provides for the establishment of these SACCOs to begin with?
Okay. Before even I delve into the laws that or the legal framework of SACCO, SACCO in Uganda, or cooperative per se, came a long way. And because of its advantage to the people or to its own members, many people are now getting involved into the registration of SACCO and also joining different SACCOs that are there. Now, like in our country now, we have over 21,000 registered SACCOs.
Okay, that's a good number.
So it's a good number, and it's encouraging that people are embracing a saving culture.
Okay.
People are embracing borrowing money from their own savings, going to invest. And that is good for and very healthy for the economy.
Yes, that's so
now
true.
Going straight to your question, the legal framework of SACCO began. I can divide it into two.
Okay.
I wanted to explain the colonial laws that were there in place,
governing SACCOs,
that were governing cooperatives by then, but also the post-independence laws that are now in place, and we are currently using them. Historically, SACCO is said to have begun in 1920s.
Okay.
Some good years back.
So many good years.
Yes, some many years back, when a group of farmers, around 5 of them, in Uganda, started a group called Buganda Growers Association. Now, they were compelled to create this association because of the unfair trade practices that was there at the time.
Okay.
Now, they came up with this association to, one, pool resources together, look for the market, and also sell their good at least a fair price. And that would help them reap something out of it. Now, in 1946,
Okay.
a cooperative society ordinance was put in place by the colonial government because they wanted to have control over the cooperatives.
Over the cooperatives.
Yes. That law worked up to around 1956, and it was replaced by what we call 1956 Cooperative Societies Ordinance. That also still gave control over cooperative movements.
And the management.
And the management, perhaps, of the cooperative vested it in the colonial government.
Okay.
Now, that law worked up to when we got our independence in 1962.
62.
Now, in 1963, the law was put in place, what we call the Cooperative Societies Act,
Okay.
and its regulation followed. Now, the regulations followed, and that law vested now the control of cooperatives in the registrar within the Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives.
So you mean now that the governance and management issues that arise from SACCOs are governed by that ministry?
Yes. Now, SACCO and cooperatives lie. The management, the control lies with the Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, that was, okay, I've brought that was a pre-independence, but also the post-independence.
The post-independence.
Now,
yes.
in 1991, what we call the Cooperative Society Statute was put in place to replace the 1963 Cooperative Society Act. So the 1991 Cooperative Society Statute was put in place that eventually became Cooperative Societies Act. Yes. That also still vested powers in the registrar to handle and control and manage SACCOs in our country. Now, the Act is there, the regulations is also there.
Okay.
Yes, and the regulation was amended in 2020.
Yes.
I mean, the Act itself was amended in 2020. Now, in 2016, the Tier 4 Microfinance and Money Lenders Act was put in place. Okay. Now, that created it shifted a paradigm shift for the management and the licensing of SACCO. Now, registration of SACCO is done under the registrar in the Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. The Tier 4 Microfinance and Money Lenders Act 2016 gave vested powers of licensing SACCOs in an authority called Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority.
Now, you have brought in a new term.
Yes.
And most of the times, our viewers out there, and so many people, misuse, or they don't differentiate the difference between one, a SACCO, and two, a microfinance.
Yes.
And then through, you can also talk about a bank. Because if
yes.
you are to relate to the same and what they do, it is almost in the same line of transactions.
Yes.
Saving and borrowing money to the customers. But specifically, we should limit ourselves maybe to microfinances, microfinance institutions, and then the SACCOs.
Okay. There's a difference between microfinance institution and SACCO.
SACCO, yes.
Now, SACCOs have members that pool resources together and loan this money
So it has
strictly to its members.
So it has a membership scheme to say.
It has a
simplify
membership
it.
scheme, yes.
Yes.
2, SACCOs do not take, they are non-deposit taking
Institutions.
financial institutions. Yes, they don't take in deposits. They take in members' savings
Okay.
and the shares. It is different from microfinance institutions. Microfinance institutions are first of all bigger than SACCOs.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
And most of microfinance institution is licensed by the central bank to do business.
To do business.
Yes, financial business in Uganda.
Okay. So
Now,
the SACCOs are not licensed by the Bank of Uganda.
SACCOs are not necessarily licensed
Okay.
by the central bank.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Until they reach a certain amount of money, in terms of
raised
billions.
in savings.
Yes. That's when the central bank will come in and regulate them.
Okay.
But that said, that means they are controlled by those two bodies
Yes.
under those two respective laws and their regulations they are under.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Then a bank, obviously a bank, you know what a bank is. It's controlled under the Financial Institutions Act and also licensed by
Bank of
Uganda to do business.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
They do loans, they also do deposit taking.
Okay. So now, when we talk about the members coming together and saving their money, we have so many groups in our villages where we come from, and maybe towns, and maybe different associations
Yes.
who sit and develop a culture of saving.
Yes.
And I will give an example of the groups that come and sit maybe on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis to raise 100 each.
Yes.
And it is also kept somewhere. Should we say that that also qualifies to be called a SACCO?
Okay, those can be. Okay, one, the law requires that a SACCO has to be registered.
Registered. Okay.
By a registrar of cooperatives under the Ministry of Trade and Cooperative. And secondly, for it to do business, it has to be registered. It has to be licensed by Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority under the Tier 4 Microfinance and Money Lenders Act.
Okay.
Now, most of our groups and associations, saving associations that we have in our villages, you find that most of them, yes, the members come together. They stay within the same community. They come together, save money for a year, and divide their money in December somebody take their money to do respective activity he or she has been saving for.
Yes.
Now, you will find also that most of them are not registered.
That's true.
And most of them do not pay tax. And also, they are not, because you see the word withdraw is limited with SACCO. Most of them, it is saving for purpose of pulling resources together, pulling money together, and loaning it out to its members at a low interest rate. But you find the other one, our saving groups in villages, one, they are not registered. Two, the money is given out all in the month of December, and people begin afresh in the month of January. So the entire treasury is drained.
Is drained, yeah.
And so those do not qualify to be SACCO.
Okay.
Yes. But it's a healthy thing because it teaches our people,
teaches the people
to have the saving culture. Only that we encourage them to have them registered so that they can do business legally.
Okay.
Yes.
We have had SACCOs that have been battling the issue of registration, and maybe some are not licensed.
Yes.
And when they are not licensed, we have had a number of court cases. Some people go to those SACCOs, borrow money, and at the end of it all, they want to raise the issue of non-registration and licensing by the authorities. And that's how they want to cheat these SACCOs. In such instances, where a SACCO is not registered at the time and not licensed, does it have any cause of action against somebody who wants maybe to cheat it, basing on the issues of non-registration and licensing?
Okay, yeah. One, it is very unfair for a person to go and borrow money knowingly that the SACCO is not registered. Then when it comes to time of paying it out, he or she refuses, that he's not going to pay on the basis that the SACCO is not registered. Yes, the law provides that if you are doing the business of money lending, you must therefore be a registered money lender.
Okay.
For you to legally and also peacefully transact your business.
In that business.
The law requires that you have to register. And also the law requires you to pay tax because you earning.
Okay.
And therefore you're getting income and you are subject to at least pay, to be fair and sincere, to pay the Income Tax Act. I mean the income tax as you earn. But as to whether these people have a cause of action, yes, equity demands that we ought to be fair, really.
Okay.
And we leave that one to court to decide as to whether a non-registered money lender can find justice in court when he or she, in the first place, the hands are not clean. He or she ought to have followed the due processes of registration. But also we encourage members of the public not to take advantage of getting such loan and exploiting. Yes, yes, it's quite unfair and it's not well with equity, really. Yes.
Then I would also raise this question because somebody asked me when our poster was saturated.
Yes.
And somebody sent me this question and he had these issues to raise. He says that when a group of people are trying to establish a SACCO, this is the people that raise this money.
Yeah.
That raise the foundation for this SACCO. Because at the end of it all, they start from zero, and from the contribution of each member as they raise a pool of money.
Yes.
And he says that at a certain point he believes this is own money. And when he feels tired of associating himself with that SACCO, he should be allowed and accepted to withdraw his share and go. Do SACCOs also allow somebody to withdraw his contribution?
Yes.
Depart from association with the SACCO?
Like we had said, voluntary. It is a voluntary entry,
And
but also a
voluntary
voluntary exit, as long as you follow the due process. The Act itself, the Cooperative Societies Act and Cooperative Societies Regulations allow a member to withdraw. But also such as to be clearly stated within the bylaws that govern the internal dynamics.
Internal management
or dynamics of a particular SACCO. Yes. So there is freedom of a member or a shareholder of a SACCO to legally withdraw. When he or she feels he can no longer be part of that SACCO. Yes.
Then another issue raises on the management of these SACCOs. Are there specific requirements and qualifications that a person maybe who will be leading this specific SACCO should meet?
Okay, yeah.
Like the leadership.
One, the problem and the challenge that most of our SACCOs are suffering with is leadership and governance issues.
Yes.
That leads to the collapse of most of our SACCOs. But there are no clear specifications of the qualifications within the law that are provided for. But it's prudent practice that you get somebody who is qualified and bring them on board. Now that also, if you may allow, that also takes me to the governance of SACCO itself.
Exactly.
Now SACCO composes of the shareholders who from on an annual basis meets on what we call the annual general meeting.
Yes.
Or at the AGM. Now, if they meet in their AGM, that is the main decision-making body of a SACCO.
Okay.
So that makes the AGM the supreme governing organ of the SACCO, or what we call the shareholders. Now, under the shareholders, the Act provides for what we call the supervisory committee.
Okay.
The SACCO, the supervisory committee, that supervises the structures that are down or the structures that are under them. Now, after the supervisory committee, the law requires them to be at least 3 or strictly 3 members. The chairperson, supervisory committee, the vice chairperson, supervisory committee, and the secretary supervisory committee. So that is the requirement of the Cooperative Societies Act and its regulation. There, after the SUPCO or the supervisory committee, we have the board.
Okay.
The law requires that the board should consist of at least 9 and not more than 9 board members who are the decision making
body.
They are the one who make decision on how a SACCO should run. They draw direction for a SACCO to run. Then we have now the technical staff, the CEO and the chief executive officer and his technical staff under him. The CEO and the technical staff implement the decision that is made or the resolutions that are passed from the board. So for a SACCO to be effectively running, all those structures have to be in place. Then secondly, when those structures are in place, they need to follow the due processes of the law and also have discipline of finances to avoid instances of misuse of financial resources of a SACCO and mismanagement of financial resources of SACCO.
Okay.
Yes.
So, having talked about the management of that SACCO and like the practice of creating these savings, is it required anywhere under the law that the savings must be done in this specified period of time, or it is upon the decision made by the members of that SACCO to say that we shall be depositing each and every month, or an individual can deposit as and when they have something to save?
Well, there's no specifications within law. Within the law.
Okay.
But the SACCO themselves can agree. The members, the shareholders, can agree and say we are going to deposit on a weekly basis, we are going to deposit on a monthly basis, or we are going to deposit on an annual basis.
Okay.
Yes.
That can be a decision made by the shareholders.
Decision made by the shareholders internally, but there is no express provision within the Act or within the legal regime of SACCO that says, okay, you are supposed to put your money or put your savings within this specified period of time. Yes.
So SACCOs offer loans to people.
Yes.
And to shareholders, to be specific.
Yeah.
And the loan is offered carry an interest rate at the end of it all. Is that interest rate also governed by the Bank of Uganda?
Well,
or this is a different setup of an interest rate,
it is
and it is decided by the members and the shareholders of that SACCO?
The interests most times are decided by the shareholders.
Okay.
Because the ultimate reason is to get loans at a small or a low rate compared to other loan issuing institutions like banks, like microfinance institutions. So the ultimate reason is to benefit the members. The members has to benefit. So in most cases, their interest rate do not go beyond that of the Bank of Uganda. Uganda. And I believe if it goes beyond, then it would be irrelevant to the members.
Okay.
Yes. And since you talk of the dividends, the profits of the interest are shared
among the members.
The dividends are shared among the members on an annual basis. So the more people borrow, the more dividends,
resources are earned.
The more dividends are earned.
Okay.
But also the dividends, we must set the record clear that dividends are given according to the shares.
The one who holds so many shares,
The one
will
who
also
holds
take
more
a big
shares take a bigger share of the
than the
dividend.
rest. Okay.
Yes, than the rest. So members are encouraged that within the SACCO that you are in, you need to have more to buy more shares
Buy more
for
shares
you to
so
realize
that you can
a better
benefit a
dividend
lot from
at the end of the year.
dividends at the end of the year.
Yes.
SACCOs having a section that involves savings, taking people's money.
Yes.
We know most of the banks and microfinances, there is that, I think it's a clause talking about that the savings and the money deposited with that institutions are protected by
Deposit
the
Protection
Deposit
Fund.
Protection Fund. That the same fund also extend its security
Protection.
and protection to the SACCOs. Or that is a different issue.
That's a
also
different.
deals with
That's a
banks and the
different
rest.
issue. And you see, SACCO is savings.
Yes.
Okay, you can deposit your money with the bank.
But
Okay,
saving and depositing, I think
those are two
it's-
different
it's
things.
the issue of
Those
the
are two
language.
different things.
Because it
You
also
see,
involves
when
picking my
you
money
do-
and taking it
that
to
is
the bank
savings.
or to the SACCO.
uh-huh.
And how about the deposit?
Deposit is you picking, say for example, picking an amount of money. You go and say, please, bank, keep for me this money and give it to me as and when I need. Okay?
So you want to say that it is different
SACCOs,
with the SACCO?
It is different.
You cannot go
Because
tomorrow
the
and
other,
say that
no,
I need my
can't,
money.
you can't. It would be a little bit unfair. It would defeat the
interest.
the interests and the foundation of saving itself.
Okay.
Yes.
So
The ultimate reason of saving there, because that's why you didn't see the word withdraw.
okay.
It is saving
And credit.
and credit. So you save for purpose of getting a loan
Getting
at
a loan.
a low interest rate.
Uh,
Yes. Otherwise, it would be saving, credit, and withdraw.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
So you'll find that the management and also the entire governance structure would do everything to minimize the rate of withdrawal from SACCOs.
The SACCOs.
Yes. So withdrawal should be low to allow fund to be there for members or for the SACCO itself to loan it out to the members. Because if everybody withdraw, then of course the SACCO will collapse.
Okay. So I will ask, and I know our viewers may be interested in also understanding this. In case there is a mismanagement of the funds in a SACCO, and you have clearly stated that the Deposit Protection Fund does not extend its protection to the SACCOs, do members of this SACCO and shareholders lose it all?
They don't lose it all. One, the SACCO itself has what we call audit, internal audit, external audit committees
Okay.
that from time to time watchdogs on how the funds are being, or the monies from the SACCO are being spent. Then secondly, SACCO being a registered legal entity, upon registration it becomes a registered legal entity with capacity to sue or to be sued.
to be sued.
And that is expressly stated within the Act.
The Act.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that means the members have a remedy in the event that their resources
And
have
mismanaged.
been mismanaged.
Okay.
They have a remedy to pursue and recover that money that has been mismanaged.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in most cases, and I've heard a number of examples of SACCOs that have collapsed completely. And you talk about the remedy that the shareholders and the people have had their savings with those SACCOs can cause an action against the SACCO. But in this instance, the SACCO has nothing to maybe offer and pay the shareholders their monies, and at some point it can be traced that the individuals involved in the management of that SACCO participated in the mismanagement of the funds. What can the shareholders
Okay,
and the members of the
such
SACCO
individuals
do?
who have participated in the mismanagement of the fund can be pursued legally,
Okay.
and the resources that they have upon the decision of the court can be attached so that members can recover their money that has been mismanaged. But also, from time to time, audits are made, and we encourage a lot, most SACCOs to have those audits done to avoid such mismanagement from going on, if at all it's existing within a particular SACCO.
Okay.
So audits should be carried out, and the law provides that the books of accounts should be left open for inspection for members. So such lacunas should be, such problems or challenges of mismanagement of funds can be realized at a small stage, at an early stage,
Okay.
so that it can be averted. But nonetheless, the law provides for a remedy.
Sometimes the rules say different things, and the practice also shows different
Thing, yes.
And from the example of the SACCOs that I've been to, surely most of them don't actually avail the copies of the audited books for every member to come and, and go through and find out. And plus, in many SACCOs, most of the people involved in are, I should call them the local people, who may not understand even what we mean when we talk about audited books of accounts. Such terms can be so hard for them. And then to also ask, in the position of the law, is it a requirement that maybe a SACCO must present its registration certificate, maybe the license, so that the people who are interested in becoming members of that SACCO can follow and verify that surely we are dealing with the legally recognized institution?
Yes, the process of registration of a SACCO requires, first of all, that, of course, the process of registration, like, for example, registration of a company, from reservation of the name, drafting of the article and memorandum of association, then you go through that process of registration with the URSB, Uganda Registration Service Bureau. Having done that, you certify all those copies. And the requirement of the law is that at least 12 members and above.
Above, okay.
The law also requires that all these members have their address and particulars clearly stated and submitted to the registrar of cooperatives. The law also requires that, on additional to the documents, there must be also certificate of good conduct of the members.
Of the members.
Yes, so that means they should be prudent members of the society. Now, those are the safeguards that the law put in place from avoiding anybody being a member and tomorrow he runs away with the money
of the members.
Yes. So members should take concern, because this is their own money and this is their own savings. They should be concerned, and at all times they should be alert and make sure they supervise how their SACCO is being managed, to avoid instances of mismanagement. But also there are safeguards in there put by law to make sure that the SACCO's
money
and its resources is safe. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from practice, there are requirements and minimum, I should call it the threshold, or the limitation, the amount of money that is set up for one maybe to start a bank. Does the operation and starting of SACCOs also have a limit of the amount of money that people should raise before they can start such a SACCO?
Yeah, it has some But not so much, really, not so much, because they can first register, register those processes with the URSB.
Okay.
They go and get registration with the Minister of with the Registrar of Cooperatives.
Cooperatives, okay.
They go and obtain a license from UMRA, that is Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority.
Okay.
After that, they can now embark into business. And so, being people's savings that people take from time to time, the law does not specify this specific amount of money, apart from the required fees that are clearly stated that you must have these fees paid before you are licensed or before you registered. Yes. Because now, for example, a group of 12 people can accept to raise funds and make sure they register. And after registration and license, that's when now they come and put in the resources and start loaning themselves. Yes.
Okay. So our viewers can understand that apart from the required and specified fees that are required for one or a group of people to pay for them to have their SACCO registered and maybe licensed, you can start a SACCO with an amount of money. So the law is not specific like the establishment of microfinances and banks, institutional banks, that have a threshold of the amount of money that you require. And this is Tekachi. We are trying to discuss the issues and the legal regime of the SACCOs, their establishment, their management, and their operation in this country, Uganda. And so many of you, I hope, if you are not personally involved in maybe working with SACCOs, at least you know somebody who is saving and having his own money in a SACCO. And we are trying to guide here and there so that we can get to understand how this did in Uganda. And another question I can ask, because we have so many people who may be interested in starting SACCOs, and you talked about maybe the certificate of good conduct that is required. You talked about the number of people, the minimum number of people to be 12. And I want to ask this. Is the levels of education also considered for the members who are interested in starting a SACCO in Uganda?
No. There's no academic qualification. Academic qualification is in relation to opening up a SACCO. So that means every willing person can voluntarily form
a SACCO.
A SACCO. Yes. There's no level of education that is required for you to be a member of a SACCO or for you to qualify to form a SACCO. For as long as you have the will of saving, you can have the zeal of voluntarily coming together, then no matter your academic qualifications, you have that legal right and moral right to form a SACCO and be a member of a SACCO.
So like for the companies, there is a requirement of having a registered place of office.
Yes.
Does the same apply to the establishment of SACCO?
The same apply to SACCO. You must have a registered office. You must have a specific address of your place or your head office, or perhaps office. You must have a registered place.
Okay.
You must have a specific address. Yes. So that may be when the authority that governs want to inspect the offices, want to inspect the books of account, they know that the SACCO or SACCO A, SACCO B is located in this specific place. Yes.
Okay.
So those documents are required. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And as time is not on our side, I am seeing Rita asking if we want to resolve our SACCO what are the legal procedures for this resolution of a SACCO?
Dissolution.
Dissolution.
For example, okay, if you want to dissolve your SACCO, you tired of business, you now want to dissolve. Yes, the law requires, the law allows for members to voluntarily, and that will require a resolution from the AGM. When members pass by way of resolution, pass and agree that we resolve to dissolve
This SACCO.
this SACCO. And thereafter, they'll have to notify the registrar of cooperatives.
Okay.
Yes, who will then guide on the processes of how
The
and
dissolution
when,
can
how.
go on.
Yes.
So minus
But then
the
dissolution,
resolution-
that means because SACCO being a legal entity, you must not have any pending legal suit. You must not be having any pending debt. Yes. If you have them and they're pending, then you must have within your resolution mechanism of addressing
of
such.
addressing such and
Yes.
having them resolved before you can go ahead to dissolve
To
the
dissolve.
SACCO.
Yes.
Then another one is there a age limit for a member to join any SACCO? Or even if I have my kid of 16 can join in a SACCO of 100 old people?
It's prudent practice that you have to be 18 years and above
An
for
adult,
you
to, make,
an
to be able
adult.
to make decisions.
Yes, you
on
must
your
be
own.
18 years and above for you to be a member of a SACCO and a shareholder.
So the parents who buy shares of their children in these SACCOs, are they doing it illegally?
It's you see, even the sale of shares itself, the shares are not sold to persons below 18 years. Yes, the shares are sold to persons of 18 years and above. Yes, so for you to be qualified to be a member of a SACCO, it's prudent practice that
You must be
18
of an
years and
adult
above,
age.
an adult age.
Okay.
Yes,
So what is
be
the
able to make decisions,
what is the
including
because
financial decisions.
because in some contracts the people of 16 can be allowed to enter into contracts, and the establishment and maybe joining a SACCO is the benefit of this child. It's the same principles of law applying the same.
That
Or-
should be. I've not. But that should be in rare circumstances. And such exceptions, if they exist, is not expressly stated.
So
Yeah,
I
no.
guess you have followed and you understand that joining SACCOs is a privilege of the adult people who can make independent decisions, maybe that are good for themselves, and maybe the people that benefit from the same. But as we almost come to the close of this show, I'm trying to access this question and ask it in my inbox. Somebody is asking, they got involved in starting a SACCO in their area, and the group of people that had started this SACCO did inform them that it had been registered and it had a license, which they did not see at the time. They started saving, and at some point they realized the SACCO had not been registered. What advice can you give to such people?
Okay. If these people did not register the SACCO,
When the time they joined, he's saying the
yeah,
time
yes.
they joined, they believed that the SACCO had been registered and licensed. Then they started saving, and later on, as they were saving, they realized the company or the SACCO,
was not
had
registered.
no registration document.
And that was very unfortunate. But you see, the law requires, and practice also requires us to do due diligence before we entrust people with our monies, especially in such setting of a SACCO. Then we ought to do due diligence and find out exactly whether this SACCO was registered. But in the absence of such, the remedy would be then pursuing those people directly or individually as they are, because one, if the SACCO was not registered, then they were duped people into into savings, and yet the SACCO they are claiming to have been registered is not in existence. Therefore, they can be pursued in persons, so they can seek legal redress in any court within their jurisdiction, but also they can demand these people their money if they have evidence of savings with them.
Okay.
Of which I know they should be having passbooks, what we call passbooks.
Yeah.
Representing the amount of money they have been depositing.
I hope you have understood and your question has been answered. And thank you so much, all our viewers, for following up. As we come to the close of this show today, Mr. Daniel, I will give you like about 3 minutes to give your concluding remarks and maybe the advice you can give these people who are interested maybe in starting and forming SACCOs, and those who have or who are members of the SACCOs that are in existence, and maybe what you think they should understand and know.
One, thank you very much for that opportunity. One, I encourage the citizens to join SACCO, but also to form SACCO if they can.
Okay.
Because one, like I earlier on stated, it helps us in getting loan at a low interest rate. Two, it helps in convenience, bringing services. Because if you in a particular village and you form SACCO in that village, if financial need arises, you can just walk in to your SACCO and you get the money, the loan that you need, and solve the particular problem. But also we encourage people that SACCO improves on the saving culture and also promote on making availability of money for investment. You can borrow from your SACCO and you go and start a small business for yourself and for your family, and you see yourself growing, but also economy will be growing. Then you have to, if you're joining a particular SACCO, you have to do due diligence, or must find out whether that particular SACCO is registered. If it's registered, please feel free to inspect the books and the documents for registration. Okay. Now, if you're already a member of SACCO, the law permits you to inspect the books of accounts or find out how the management of your particular SACCO is being done. Okay? Okay. Then the requirements of SACCO, you can walk to your registration of a SACCO, you can walk to URSB. They have very good staff, they will guide you. Then thereafter, you can also find out from registrar of cooperatives. They can also help you, or you can find a lawyer who can help you to have these processes done. Right. Yes, so that you have a legally registered SACCO, and you do business of loaning or giving loan among yourself to do business, but also to solve particular problems that you may be having, and you move on. Okay. In as far as development is concerned. So the concept of SACCO is very important and is very key in economic development.
Okay.
Yes.
Your last remarks.
My last remark is I want to thank the viewers for having spent time and listen to the discussion that we had, but also I want to thank the management of this TV for giving me opportunity to come and discuss this very important aspect of the law of cooperative, and I'm always available. If you invite me again, I'll be glad to attend and have a discussion, because this is a very important discussion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm so humbled.
Thank you so much, Counsel Daniel, for also sparing time and coming to share with our viewers these interesting things. Some of them could have been knowing them, and some may have not been knowing some of these things that they need to inquire into more. But feel free to always ask URSB. They will guide the lawyers in town who are passionate in commercial, can also lead you to the best thing to do, especially in regards to starting up a SACCO, managing SACCOs, and if your SACCOs are being mismanaged, what you need to not also follow and find out whether it's actually mismanagement or it is you not understanding how a SACCO should be treated. And we shall not go any further today, but I would want to say that our viewers out there who are interested in celebrating your Valentine's, you can go ahead and celebrate, but celebrate responsibly, keeping in mind that tomorrow is a Wednesday, a weekday, a working day. So surely the enjoyment should be limited to a certain point. And I want to say happy Valentine's to you all, and we shall be here next Tuesday having a different topic of discussion. And if you have any topic that you feel we should discuss, kindly feel free to find me on Facebook. You can message me in Messenger, on Twitter. I'm Tumsime Kato on Facebook, and you can also inbox The Alternative Uganda on our Facebook pages, The Alternative Uganda and Digitalk TV. Later on, our show will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, The Alternative Uganda. Follow, like, subscribe, and we shall be glad to always share with you the same information that is useful, and we believe that adding and imparting knowledge to the rest of the people is what we can offer at the time. May God bless one and bless all.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.